Today I start topic number 5 in IMT, that is installation, maintenance and testing. The topic heading is preventive maintenance and environmental pollution prevention by preventive maintenance. So here we have to discuss the points: concepts of preventive maintenance, advantages of preventive maintenance, schedule for transformer, induction motor and transmission line, circuit breaker and underground cables. So these type of maintenance we have to do the preventive maintenance for these articles or the equipments, so that pollution control can be done with the help of preventive maintenance. The other points are preventive measures to control environment pollution, results due to production of smoke gases, flow of waste material and automatic reactions, then research stations and plants, then electrical and electronic equipments and accessories. So these are the content of the topic number 5 of this particular subject IMT in topic number 5. So preventive maintenance, as far definition is concerned, the preventive maintenance is done for avoiding any type of breakdown in the system or in the equipment. The preventive maintenance done according to the guideline given by the manufacturer of the equipment, then it will be easy for maintenance. Normally smokes and the gases which are generated due to decomposition of the insulating oil, that will cause the maximum contribution in the pollution in the atmosphere. So we have to be very particular about the gases which are obtained from decomposition of the transformer oil, which is used in different type of equipments. So as he told in this particular topic, that concept of preventive maintenance. So concept of preventive maintenance is that before occurring any type of fault, whether it is a permanent fault or temporary fault, we have to check up the equipment before it's starting, before it's on conditions. Before that we have to check this particular type of equipment which is used in the power system or in substation. So mainly what we have to do, there is a routine maintenance. One thing, there are certain points to be covered in routine maintenance, that is say cleaning of dust, then tightening up the terminals, then decarbonization of terminal, decarbonization of the joints. So these are the coming under the routine maintenance, checking of temperature, checking of oil level. These are the points coming under routine maintenance, that is to be done daily when we start the plant. So other point for preventive maintenance, that periodical checkup of the equipments for different types of task. This is given by the manufacturer manual. It is given in manufacturer manual. So according to instructions given in manufacturer manual, we have to go for checking of all those points which are given in the manual of the manufacturer of the particular equipment. So here the concept of preventive maintenance is that preventive maintenance include periodic maintenance and routine maintenance both. Before breakdown of the system equipment or any part of the system, if you have done these two maintenance properly, periodic and the routine maintenance regularly as per the recommendation, then the situation of breakdown maintenance can be avoided. But even though in the yearly maintenance of the system, we have to take the shutdown as a whole on the system for the major parts to be repaired. Normally what happen, due to wear and tear and mechanical stresses and the electrical stresses on the components part of the equipment, there is a possibility of their damage of the parts. So yearly schedule is there that we take the shutdown on the system and check all the points where this type of wear and tear and the damage of the spare parts is seen, or the components are seen. So you have to replace those components. Now here we have to discuss according to the equipment what are the preventive maintenance steps should be taken for this. So he has given one point, advantage of preventive maintenance. So as I have told you, if you go for preventive maintenance in which the routine maintenance and periodic maintenance are done for regular basis, then there is a breakdown time or the breakdown maintenance can be avoided. This is the main advantage. And when breakdown period or breakdown of the system can be avoided, then naturally the production of the system can be maintained as per the target, or there is no economical loss due to shutdown of the industry or the system. Similarly, in the electrical power system, if we avoid the shutdown for taking up for the maintenance, then definitely the revenue will not be affected by the electrical supply agency. So there are so many advantages of preventive maintenance that no sudden situation obtained or happened in the system if we go for regularly periodic and routine maintenance of the system. And this routine maintenance and the periodic maintenance, they are the part of preventive maintenance. Under preventive maintenance, these two maintenance are to be done. So this is the main point in the advantage. So advantage is that if you go for regular preventive maintenance situation and you study that what type of preventive maintenance are required in the system, and according to that you plan the periodic as well as routine maintenance, then your system will work as per your requirement or as per the target of production in the system or as per the target design. Then next point he has to given, or he has given the point that after the preventive maintenance advantages, we have to schedule, have to write for some of the equipment in electrical system. Say for example, transformer, he has given preventive maintenance schedule for the transformer, then induction motor, transmission line, circuit breaker and underground cable. So these are the different type of component parts in the power system of the electrical supply in which these components equipment are used. So what are the schedule to be maintained for preventive maintenance of these equipment? So first we will discuss for the transformer. So for transformer, what type of preventive maintenance are to be done? So in transformer, as you know, there are two types of transformer. One is distribution transformer and one is power transformer. Distribution transformer, they have capacity up to 500 kVA, or voltage is 11 by 0.4 kV or 33 by 0.4 kV. Power transformer, they are used in 33 by 11 kV substation, 132 by 33 kV substation, 220 by 132 kV substation, 400 kV by 220 kV substation, and the MVA capacity of this transformer varies from 5 MVA to 500 MVA. So naturally, according to the recommendations given by the manufacturer of the transformer, we have to go for the schedule of maintenance for the transformer. So first we discuss what should be the schedule for the transformer which are used in distribution system. In distribution system, mainly the schedule of maintenance is that for periodic maintenance and routine maintenance. In routine maintenance, we have to check the joints, jumper, and all the points where the tapings are done from the transformer. So you have to go for the checking of the primary bushing and secondary bushing, oil level in the primary bushings you have to see, then temperature of the oil that is indicated by temperature indicator, then oil level in the conservator, it is conservator tank, it is to be observed regularly. Then you have to take the IR value, that is insulation resistance value of the winding with respect to ground for all the three phase. So you have to measure face to face insulation resistance of the winding, and face to earth or face to neutral insulation resistance should be measured on the periodic basis. Then other type of maintenance schedule should be that for the power transformer, that you should check the number of trippings taken on the transformer, and also check the dielectric value of the transformer oil which is filled up in the transformer. So by taking sample of the insulating oil from the bottom taping, and you can measure its dielectric value by dielectric testing kit. So this type of maintenance generally required for the power transformer which are coming under schedule of preventive maintenance. Then if we go for the for the distribution transformer, these are the schedule. Now when we go for power transformer, then here there are certain arrangement of cooling of the transformer apart from the oil cooling. So oil filled up is there of course in the power transformer, but because their MVA capacity or the capacity of the transformer is large, so there is a lot of heat produced due to both type of losses, core losses and the iron core losses and the copper losses. So these type of losses in the transformer, it produce loss of heat, there is lot of heat in the transformer. So apart from this cooling with the help of transformer oil, we have to use the forced fans for the cooling purpose of the radiators of the particular power transformer. So in the routine checkup or in the routine maintenance schedule, you should check the condition of radiators regularly, condition of the fans which are operating for the forced air to cool the body of the transformer. Then you have to check the proper bushing oil level, and then you have to check from maintenance schedule, you have to check the internal temperature of winding by infrared thermometer or by pyrometers, and then you have to check the cracking or any hair crack or any type of damage in the insulators of the primary or secondary side of the transformer. Then you have to check the gasket which is fitted the transformer tank with the help of cover. So you have to check for leakage of the transformer oil regularly from these points. So there are so many points are there, but what are the important points which are required to be done in the periodic maintenance and the routine maintenance, that I have given. Also in this power transformer also you have to check the IR value of the winding, and also the dielectric strength of the oil. And if a dielectric strength is not up to the mark, then you have to go for the filtration of the oil. So filtration of oil, normally there are recommendation given by the manufacturer of the transformer that after each 50 trippings or 100 trippings you have to go for transformer oil filtration. So whenever there is a counting is done with the help of a counter, that how many trippings have been have happened in the transformer due to short circuit or any type of fault condition, then you have to go for its reclamation of oil with the help of filter machine, which is available at the substation itself. So to maintain the value of the transformer oil up to 60 kV per centimeter of the voltage gradient, so you have to go for the transformer oil filtration. So schedule of maintenance for the transformer to in case of preventive maintenance, it is some maintenance which are routine maintenance, in which insulation resistance testing of the insulator, testing of the joints, jumper, testing of the oil dielectric strength, and testing of the cracking or the hair crack in the insulators, checking of the level of the oil in the conservator and the bushing also. So these are all the routine tests to be done in the routine maintenance. As I have told you, this routine maintenance is a part of preventive maintenance. So here the second maintenance is periodic maintenance. The periodic maintenance may be done quarterly, that is in 3 months, in 6 months, or sometimes some maintenance will be done on yearly basis. So these maintenance which are coming under periodic maintenance, it is according to the recommendation done by the manufacturer of the transformer. So according to manufacturer recommendations, we have to arrange for the plan, or we should schedule the periodic maintenance according to the manufacturer manuals, which is provided along with the transformer or the any equipment which is supplied by the manufacturer. So this is the point which are coming under the transformer. When you want to maintain the transformer, then these are the time schedule to be maintained by the preventive maintenance schedule, and according to that you have to carried out both the maintenance, periodic as well as routine maintenance. Now we have to also check the transformer voltage at the incoming side and outgoing side. So if there are proper voltage you are getting as per the rating or as per the permissible drop range, that is normally in a case of HT 12% voltage plus minus, it can be considered in the high voltage of 132, 220 and 400 kV. But voltage if less than that, then 5% is the limit for fluctuation of the voltage. So fluctuation of voltage should also be scheduled to measure regularly on the transformer primary and secondary side. Then all the tapping points from the jumpers, that is from the gantry structure to the transformer primary bushing and secondary bushing, the nut bolt should be checked for their carbonization. Many times due to overheating, carbonization of the jumper and joints takes place, which cause the excessive drop of voltage due to heating or due to the burning of the contacts. So this should be maintained properly, and it should be included in the preventive maintenance schedule. Now for apart from transformer, if you go for the second point he is given for induction motor. So for induction motor, normally according to the rating of the motor, you can start from 1 HP to hundreds of HP motor which are used in industries. So you have to maintain again the schedule, preventive maintenance schedule for this motor. So if they are the small HP motor less than 15 HP, then routine maintenance can be done as per the recommendation given by the particular manufacturer. So normally for induction motor you have to check the bearing condition, the insulation resistance of the winding with respect to earth and with respect to phase, then the cooling fans, it should be properly tightened, or its working should be checked for proper flow of air inside the motor for cooling purpose. And then you check the bearing also. The bearing are also doing properly their work or not. You have to see it, that if the lubrication is dried, suppose in the bearing, so you have to go for the lubrication of the shaft of the bearing, or the bearing shaft should be lubricated according to the requirement. Secondly, in the periodic maintenance for the induction motor, you also check the rotor balancing condition of the motor, whether rotor is properly balanced or not. Then for routine maintenance, you have to go for the checking of the foundation bolts and nut bolts on which the motor is tighted. Similarly, you have to see the frame of the motor, whether it is properly aligned or not, or its alignment is not disturbed. Then if it is a drive used for transmission of mechanical power by belt, so you have to also check for the proper tension in the belt, which is there or not, according to the need of power transmission by mechanical means. So these are the some type of maintenance which are required for the induction motor. If you go for a different type of induction motor, then there will be different type of maintenance schedule should be prepared for such type of motor. Normally up to 15 HP motor, the squirrel cage rotor is there, so maintenance, routine maintenance and periodic maintenance, they are according to recommendation of the manufacturer. It can be done and it is easy to plan. Now, if you go for the motor which are slip ring motor or wound rotor motor, in which you have used auto transformer starter or delta star starter or rotor resistance starter, in that case, along with the motor, these starters should also be maintained for the proper functioning. So mostly problem which is observed in the case of different type of starter, that burning of the contacts are there. So carbonizing and burning of contacts are there. So you have to check for the uh, burning and melting of contact of the starters. And similarly, contact of the starter can be maintained either by replacement or by their repairs. In big motors, which are types decided according to their use, whether they are a DC motor or in AC motors, whether they are having series property or shunt property. So in DC motor we are having DC series motor, which are also used in traction system, and in rolling mills also we use this series motor. So we have to check all these motors for mechanical testing and as well as the electrical testing. In mechanical testing, as I have told you, the balancing of the rotor should be checked. Then nut bolt on which the foundation is on the foundation the motor is grouted, that should be checked properly. Alignment of the frame, it should all be also to be checked. And for big motors, you have to check the vibration level also. In vibration level, if motor vibrations is more than the stipulated limit given by the manufacturer, then you have to check for this. Similarly, any type of humming noise is coming in the motor. Similar type of humming noise is also there, check in the transformer also, because of the stamping problem. So this is coming under the yearly maintenance or the periodic maintenance of the transformer. Similar type of humming sound, if suppose coming in the motor, so you have to find out what are the cause of this humming sound, and you rectify those cause by proper inspection and tracing out the fault. So these are the some of the recommendations for the periodic maintenance of the induction motor. Then that depends upon their rating also. As I have told you, up to 15 HP we are using, say, squirrel cage motor, so the maintenance schedule is very compact, and not much stress is to be given on the schedule maintenance, because normally these motors have less maintenance requirement. But if you go for wound rotor type of motor, in which different type of starters are used, as I have told you, the starter of the auto transformer starter or rotor resistance starter in case of slip ring motor. So you have to give the additional attention for all these type of starters, so that they are functioning properly or not. Also, temperature rise of the motor should be seen on different loads, so that temperature rise should also be in a particular limit of given by the manufacturer. So if it is motor is hitting more than that temperature, so definitely there is some problem in the motor. So you go for shutdown of the motor, that is go for the shutdown of the motor means you go for shutdown maintenance and check up the every part of the motor. Why the reason is there to for increasing of the temperature of the motor under operating conditions. So you find out the reason and rectify it. So these are the concept for the preventive maintenance, in which we have to schedule for transformer and induction motor. Now similarly the schedule is maintained for the transmission line also. Normally transmission line maintenance, there are maintenance scheduled by the electricity supply agency depending upon the season. So normally one maintenance they have to go for before monsoon, they have to go for maintenance of the scheduled maintenance of the transmission line. So in transmission line from 11 kV to 400 kV lines, they have to go for checking of the insulators, jumper, joints, tower position, nut bolt of the towers, whether they are tighted properly or not. Then insulator testing is also done, whether there is no hair crack in the insulation. They have to also check the flashover voltage of the insulator. Then check the alignment of the conductor, sag of the conductor also to be measured in summer days, whether they are within the proper limit of design or not. So these are the maintenance done for 11 kV to 400 kV lines before the monsoon. When rainfall start, before that these all type of maintenance are done. So this is the scheduled maintenance of the transmission line above 132 kV, 220 kV and 400 kV. And for 11 kV and 33 kV, because this is the part of primary distribution system, so the maintenance schedule for 11 and 33 kV line, it is done seasonally according to Deepavali maintenance also to be done, because at this festival there is a lot of load is increased. So for that purpose 11 kV and 33 kV lines are maintained. Similarly, these lines are also coming in contact with the tree branches. So cutting up the tree, it is necessary for 11 and 33 kV line, and proper clearance should be maintained from the building, from the trees branches, so that the possibility of temporary fault it can be avoided, or tripping of the line can be avoided. Otherwise every time tripping will be there. Secondly, due to some other reason on 11 kV and 33 kV line, there are threads are there due to kite. Kite peoples are using kite play. So in that case जो पतंग के तार धागा होता है वो कई बार उलझ जाता है कंडक्टर में, तो you have to clean that also by cutting off these threads at the different point. Similarly, it is seen that on the 11 kV and 33 kV pole, they are, if it is not properly grouted by concrete structure, then these poles become tilted right side or left side. This will increase the stress on the conductor. So conductor stress is there due to dislocation of the pole position. So this also to be checked properly, and their maintenance should be done for its proper alignment of the line with respect to the pole. And similarly, you have to see the jumper joints on the disc insulator as well as on pin insulator, whether they are not loose or there is no case of any type of corona loss takes place due to dirty part of the conductor. If there is any dirty part of the conductor is there, you have to clean it. These are coming under the scheduled maintenance of transmission line. So there is a hot line maintenance is also to be done. There is a last chapter in this IMT, their hot line maintenance. So this is done for the line above 132 kV, and this is in case where the line shutdown is not taken, and in the charge condition of the line we have to go for maintenance. So this hotline maintenance is also important, and it is to be done according to the requirement. It is apart from the periodic maintenance and routine maintenance of the line, we have to go for hotline maintenance according to yearly schedule for the line. So in this there are different type of hotline equipments are used. So hotline maintenance equipments are used. So with the help of those tools we have to go for this type of maintenance. So normally in transmission line the type of maintenance required: cleaning up jumper joints, cleaning up the carbonized part of the component of the transmission line, then see the structure, that is the lattice structure tower, properly nut bolt are tighted or not. Position of cross arm you have to check whether its alignment is proper according to conductor sag or not. So these are the points which are coming under transmission line maintenance, the schedule for transmission line maintenance. Similarly, tightening of the nut bolt, then painting of the tower, it should be done to avoid the corrosion, because normally if it is not painted by red oxide paint or aluminum paint, then there is a rusting of the tower parts will be there, and tower parts will become weak in long time use, and sometime due to high wind pressure the tower may collapse. So for this purpose you have to also check for its red oxide painting as well as aluminum painting on the tower, so that water stagnation is not there on the tower parts. And secondly, on foundation you have to check the muffing and coping of the tower parts or the tower legs. So proper cement structure is prepared on the tower legs on the four side, that is called muffs. The muffs are properly prepared so that rainy water should not enter in the pit of the tower structure or the tower foundation. So it will be if a lot of water is enter in the tower foundation without muffing, so it will weaken the total structure, and the structure, that is the concrete structure, will be destroyed, and that will increase the stress on the tower, and this will cause a collapsing of the tower due to high wind pressure, because its foundation become weak due to entrance of water. So this is also to be seen for the case of the transmission line. Then after transmission line there is a circuit breaker maintenance schedule. So in circuit breaker, again it depends on the type of circuit breaker. There are different type of circuit breakers used for different voltage. Normally for 132 kV we are using SF6 circuit breaker, minimum oil circuit breaker, then air blast circuit breaker in 400 kV, then bulk oil circuit breaker for 11 and 33 kV. So according to type of circuit breakers, there are certain recommendations given by the manufacturer of the circuit breaker, what to be maintained according to the preventive maintenance schedule. So according to the recommendation given by the manufacturer of the particular type of circuit breaker, you have to go for its maintenance schedule or prepare the preventive maintenance schedule according to recommendation. But mainly in the oil circuit breaker, again the point is there, you check the dielectric strength of the oil, then you have to check the contact of the moving contact and fixed contact of the circuit breaker, they are properly working or not. Worn out is there sometime due to number of trippings, the tips of the circuit breaker contacts become damaged, so you have to replace them. Then sometime the motoring operation or the whatever the moving parts of the circuit breaker, they damage due to wear and tear and the continuous use, so you have to check for that. Similarly, on stack of insulator where the circuit breaker structure is fitted, you have to check for the insulator, so their quality for porosity or hair crack should not be there, so that no extra stress will be there on the structure of the insulator. So there are so many points which are for routine maintenance for the breakers it is done. If it is a case of a SF6 breaker, then the pressure should be maintained at the appropriate limit that is decided by the manufacturer. So the pressure in the compressed SF6 gas cylinder, it should be properly maintained according to the recommendation. Similarly, in air blast circuit breaker, the same thing is to be maintained, the air pressure in the cylinders or the chamber from where the air blast is supplied to the breaker. So these are all the preventive maintenance schedule for all type of breakers, and mostly the preventive maintenance schedule, it is given by the manufacturer of the different type of circuit breaker. So according to that, those recommendations given, you prepare a chart and write down the points on which you have to maintain the circuit breaker according to the preventive measures, and you carry it regularly as per the instruction given, so there will be no problem. And whatever recommendation given for number of tripping, the circuit breaker should go for the breakdown maintenance. In case of in that case, you have to take the shutdown on the breaker and then repair and check whatever type of fault or whatever type of damage occur after the number of tripping. The number of tripping may be in some cases 50 tripping, after you have to go for that type of test. Then in case of some breaker it is 100 tripping, after that you have to go for such type of test for breakdown maintenance. So these are the preventive maintenance schedule for that. Now if you go for the last one, it is underground cable. So underground cable, they are normally armored cables are there. So here two problems are there, that bunching of cable should be done properly, because there are two types of cable used in the trenches of the substation or in the industrial use. There is a bunch of control cable which control the control circuit, which is operated at low voltage, and there are high voltage cable, those are said to be power cable. So this power cable should be maintained mainly for their jumper and joints should be proper. And if it is oil filled cable, then you have to also check whether oil flow is proper or not. Then secondly, every cable, it is having number of layers. So conductor, after that insulation, then lead sheathing is there, then serving is there, bedding is there, and after bedding there is armoring is there, and after armoring there is serving is there. So all the 5 layers which are provided in the cable according to design, you should check for all. Similarly, insulation resistance of the cable should be measured with the help of Megger in the schedule maintenance, in the schedule of preventive maintenance from time to time. So jumper, lux of the cable, from where cable is joined from the bus bar to the load point, so their lux should be properly checked. And you have to also check the bimetallic joints which are used on the bushing of the transformer, from where the cable is connected from LT side. So you have to check this bushing also for the bimetallic clamps, so that they are properly working or not. Otherwise, due to deterioration in quality of these bimetallic clamps, there is a current density will increase, and that will heat up the bushing contact, and as a result of that, sometime the bushing may be melt, that bushing contact may be melt, the metal part, and this will cause the flashover on the insulator provided for the bushing. So these are the cable requirement. In cable requirement, you have to see that in trench there is water stagnation should not be there, otherwise water enter in the cable and it will deteriorate the quality of the armoring, and armor become corrosion will occur in the armoring, and that will destroy the inside layer of the cable, so that will create the problem. So in schedule maintenance, for prevention of these type of faults or this type of any this type of mistakes or any type of error occur in the operation of the cable, we should go for this type of schedule of maintenance for the cable. So cable laying, it is normally done in industries or in the substation, it is by trenches. So there are cable trays are there, so proper distance of cable trays should be maintained. Heat dissipation from the cable, it should have proper ventilation arrangement, so that heat produced by the cable due to losses in the conductor, it should be dissipated to atmosphere at proper rate, so that overheating of the cable can be avoided. So in all, we can say that whatever type of points I have discussed for preventive maintenance, mostly the points, they are according to the recommendation of the manufacturer of the particular type of equipment. So we have discussed today the preventive maintenance schedule for transformer, for induction motor, for transmission line, for circuit breaker and underground cable. Apart from this, whatever the manuals given by the manufacturer and whatever recommendation given by the manufacturer, you have to read out those instructions, and according to those instructions you go for step by step to rectify the fault, or to rectify the maintenance point of view, whatever the action to be taken. So this is all for today, in which I have completed the schedule maintenance for preventive schedule maintenance for transformer, induction motor, transmission line, circuit breaker and underground cable. The remaining portion of this topic I will take next time, in which preventive measures to control environment, pollution, etc. in the other articles. Then production of smokes, gases, flow of waste material and automatic reactions for in research centers, whatever type of the station or the plant, that is the mostly is discussing about generation plant. So we have to discuss the remaining article in our next topic, next period, when this portion will be completed. So today I have completed 50% topic of five number topic. 50% course I have completed of the topic number 5. So remaining some articles which are based on the pollution control, that I will discuss next time. Pollution control we also discuss in ECM subject, so again the repetition of same points will be there, but I will discuss for those. So this is all for today. So next time we do the remaining part of this, in which more stress is given for pollution control. So we have to see what are the causes of pollution and how it can be rectified. Then what are the sources of pollution is there in the system and how they can be removed. So all these things will be done when I will take the second part of the topic. So this is all for today. You go through the lecture, and whatever points I have given, you make a note of all these points, and according to that you prepare for your notes in your notebooks. So after this completion of 5 topic in this and 5 topic in ECM, I will give a 10 question assignment to you next time. 5 question, 10 question from energy conservation and management, and 5 questions from IMT. So this will be your first assignment for the 5 or 50% topic covers by me. Thank you.